ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Facts and Fud Crypto. I am not a financial advisor, I am Ben. Today's date is the 6th of December, 2018. Consider watching this video at 1.5 times speed if you guys think I am speaking too slowly. I am feeling a whole hell of a lot better because I've got some medicine in my system. I do not have cinnamon, and I do not drink coffee. I take that back, I drink black coffee. So today's topic is going to be a very long and drawn out one. What is R3 Corda Settler, and what does it do? I'm sorry, Settler. Sources for today's topics are as follows. And before I begin this topic, I want you all to know that I do think this is good news. It's just that I think it's weird that the market does not reflect it. What do I mean by that? Well, as the saying goes, buy the rumor, sell the news. And what I mean by that is, if you remember when XRapid was announced, or at least, I'm sorry, was teased by Brad Garlinghouse on Twitter, then you guys would probably remember that this also caused the price of XRP to surge. But I'll get to the price surge later on and all that stuff. First, let's talk a little bit about some facts about Corda. The project first began in 2016, and if I remember reading and citing their website correctly, it said that the project became open source in November 2016. And this is a product or service developed by R3, and R3's CTO worked at IBM for 15 years, and R3's founder has several years' experience at a company known as ICAP. Now, I did cite LinkedIn before. I don't want to leave their exact profiles. You can find all of the information that I found with some quote-unquote Google detective work, which really isn't that much detective work, to be honest. You can find their Wikipedia page relatively easily, and the founder and the CTO and all that stuff. But moving on, we're talking about the Corda Settlement system. It explicitly mentions that XRP can be used as a settlement method, not a settlement system. It mentions specifically blockchain and cryptocurrencies. And I want to double hash this by saying that in the article that I had read where they announced the launch of Corda, they said very specifically cryptocurrencies. So that could mean potential use of others, such as perhaps Stellar Lumens, maybe Bitcoin, maybe Litecoin. But it also does not mention when Corda XRP transactions will go live. They did, however, provide an example YouTube video where they do use XRP as a method of settlement. Does not mention when Corda will be available for financial institutions to use, to the best of my knowledge. I should have put a huge asterisk next to that because they said that they launched Corda today. But something feels extremely strange about all of this because we're still at about 35 cents on CoinMarketCap per XRP. So this feels a little bit weird in my opinion, but I won't say much more than that for the time being. Partners of R3 and Corda. Groups, organizations, and companies that financed research for Corda includes 200 plus partners. Many of these are financial institutions, but not all of them are. We will get to that later. I will say that many of these financial institutions are a decent number of them are located in China. Many of them are located in Asia as well. But let's go on to the next slide. Possibilities with XRP and Corda. XRP could be used in more methods than originally intended. Nothing indicates retail transactions from what I've seen. No use at Walmart or Carrefour for you to check out using XRP. And this could potentially lead to the creation of another private network for XRP similar to XRapid, if I understood that correctly. So it's another venue for international or even domestic remittances, depending on how Corda is meant to be used. Details not mentioned. Is it Are there XRP exclusive use cases such as cross-border remittances, or will they be domestic remittances, things like that? So this is kind of like me. I know I kind of said domestic or international, but I felt as though the announcement was very, very ambiguous. Other partners of Corda that are not necessarily financial institutions would be LG CNS, which provides IT services, Amazon Web Services, a company named Appway, and some other non-financial institution companies. So I guess this could mean, and these are companies that, now that I think about it, they actually do a good deal of international business themselves. So they could potentially use this as an instant settlement method from party A to party B. What you're doing with a credit card or a corporate credit card or whatever you want to call it does create a little bit of headache, if you will, because that's still attached to one of the staff members at your company. So what I'm trying to say here is this could be used in some ways to produce some form of instant settlement without the need to apply for a credit card. Just the other day on Personal Finance, the top thread was an employee of a company that wanted the employee to apply for a credit card on the company's behalf. So that actually creates a little bit more headache for the employee, more so than for the company itself. And if XRP is usable in a case like this, then that would eliminate one such small headache. So the long story short is I've tried to do a bunch of research and try to figure out what exactly they're going on, and I couldn't quite find all of my answers. So the best rational conclusion that I can come to for R3 creating Corda is adoption. This is a big positive in some ways because it shows that XRP is not exclusive to Ripple and XRapid. So, this means that we are looking more and more for some, I guess you'd say, practical use clauses. And I guess if Corda is going to be an amazing service, then this will help get XRP's feet off of the figurative ground. And also dozens, if not hundreds of companies have put money into R3 and Corda to help make their business days easier and more efficient. Please don't shoot me down for my own opinion, but this is a very important part that I want to highlight right here. When XRapid was teased by Brad Garlinghouse on Twitter, not an official news source, but just like, the CEO himself, not a news source on their website, but the CEO tweeting and teasing XRapid, XRP's price surged from 27 cents that day to almost 90 cents. Another thing is that this could potentially be a bigger piece of a puzzle that Ripple has in mind to get more banks using XRP and or XRapid. Now, what I do mean by that is that Brad Garlinghouse did say that we can expect major banks to be using XRapid by the end of the year. So I'm not entirely certain about whether or not this is connected, because this is kind of like, this is very confusing to look at on paper and try to make sense of. And I'd say, like, because another large part of this is because of the present market activity that we are seeing, or rather lack thereof. But maybe it would be a good idea to get Brad Garlinghouse to tweet the story. So you guys can check him out on Twitter. Go follow him on Twitter, the CEO of Ripple himself. And I said it before, I'll say it one more time. Right now, the market does not reflect how strong the value of Corda is, if we are all understanding it correctly. That's all I have for now, guys. If you thought this video was helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what I am doing right and what I am doing wrong. And if you are feeling generous, consider XRP tipping through the QR code in the lower right-hand corner of this YouTube video. My name is Ben, and tomorrow we will be talking about the legality of cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, XRP, etc. in China, exclusively to China. And that'll be it from me today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you all tomorrow.